Good morning. This is John Checky coming to you live from Richardson, Texas. And yes, my hair is a fright today as I made a mistake of walking in the wind out front of the building. Co-author of Spend Time and Save Money, talking about injury, sickness, and recovery. How on earth do we address those situations? I was talking to a client yesterday who's been a client for just, it's about 10 years. And she was going through some things. She had relocated to an area that had slightly better air than we had down here in Texas. And that was up in Colorado. Wouldn't you know? New location, brand new, just constructed townhouse, had a variety of maladies that almost immediately developed. Let's kind of go through the list. Get yourself a washer and dryer. It doesn't quite fit in the closet, so the person who puts it in jams it in really hard, breaks a pipe behind it. When they secure a brace, they puncture through a pipe. Pipe leaks throughout the entire apartment, townhouse, and soaks the carpet, and oh boy, mold gets to form. Now, if you're of a certain age and you have some breathing challenges and you've had some health challenges, and you wake up one day and realize your house is kind of overwhelmed with mold, maladies, and the like, how would you cope? You could just roll up in a ball and go, heck with it, I'm just selling it as is, got enough money not to have to worry about stuff like that, and cut my losses and go on down the road. Or you can be a determined person with a couple of degrees and say, nope, I like the view, I like the price of the unit, I like my neighbors well enough, love the scenery, love the mountain air, I'm going to get this fixed. You fight with the insurance company for a while, eventually get that straightened out and properly adjusted, the best you can get it adjusted, and you go on down the road. But how about that same person getting caught in a riot in London, getting kicked right in the eye, which injured the eye, and a person a little bit older, sneaking up on 70, cataract time. Discovers as the person goes out, walks about in the cool air, vision gets kind of blurry. Why is that? Well, it turns out an eye doctor who actually had talked to enough people up in Colorado said, gee willikers, you have some scar tissue on your eye. It crinkles up when you're out and about in colder weather. And you have a couple of choices. One, we can either dress that, or you can stay inside when it's cold outside. Or you can kind of use a cane to kind of make sure you don't tip over. Now, some of us really enjoy going outside, walking about, and doing this, that, and the other thing. At least one person on this call, right this second, has a really sore left hip. How'd that happen? A little deposit of calcium on my left hip. I remember getting that diagnosed about 10 years ago, and I said, pull it out. And they said, I'm sorry, it'll just reform. It's, again, product of being not young, lower testosterone. Your body, instead of building more ligaments and tendons, deposit of calcium need. So stretch this way and that way to get around that on a regular basis, and every once in a while, relearn those stretches to go do that. Why is that? Well, part of overcoming sickness, whether it's allergy time at certain times of the year, to learn about deep breaths, salt solutions, lots of really good tissues, some good advice from doctors and nutritionalists, and a determination to just have some good habits. Let's talk about habits for just a second. If we have a habit of, on a regular basis, learning to spend less money than we make, have long-term goals, have habits which promote good health, energy, and the like. No matter how we feel, we get up in the morning, we go about our business, we do this, that, and the other thing, and we get on with life. Now, once you have white hair, you usually have some dangling participles when it comes to health. It's just the way it is. Sadly, about 10 years ago, when I got diagnosed with that hip, the doctor laughed and said, "You're about 20 years early." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Normally it takes people longer to wear out their hip." I said, "Well, I kind of work out and he said, "And by working out, you kind of hasten that process." I thought, wow. Someone forgot to tell me the more you use stuff, the quicker it wears out. However, if we make it a point to recover with proper rest, proper nutrition, proper stretching, proper after workout routines and regimens, we can stay healthy. And if we do our spend time and save money routines of save and invest, determine what it is that brings us joy, and work on that on a regular basis, just as natural as breathing, we have a tendency to, 1, get up and get after it, 2, accumulate money over time, 3, understand who and what we are and go after it on a regular, passionate, focused, full of vision basis. Getting back to Colorado for just a second. So what else happened to this lady? Well, just in time to be all by herself with COVID all around us, got diagnosed with some health maladies, which I'm not going to go into, but required some ongoing life-threatening treatment. We all know what that is in English. When you have that kind of a diagnosis, you have a couple of choices. If it's limited to a certain area, you can have surgery to cut that out. But commonly, folks do what's called chemotherapy. Chemotherapy basically is swallowing some poison, which is designed to kill certain tissue or at least slow it down. Then you recover over time, and with luck, you can become a cancer survivor. Much more common now than it used to be, but there are some side effects that go along with that. Every time we put anything in our body, whether it's fantastically pure water, down to vitamins, up to meat, potatoes, and lots of green vegetables, there are side effects associated with everything we put in our bodies and minds. So after a while, if you have chemotherapy, you do your best to hang out with other people who've had chemotherapy. I'm not one of those people, nor have I been diagnosed with anything. So thank you very much for asking. But I've known a lot of people who have been diagnosed with cancer, and many of whom have actually survived. Some of whom have even signed up for Susie's yoga classes at the Plano Senior Center, which is now called the Sam Johnson, or a recreation center for adults 50 plus. So you can be, all kidding aside, have some sickness, you can have certain injuries, and you can just flat press on if you've graced yourself with the proper mindset, which generates proper habit, and then that generates over time character and accomplishment. And then folks say how lucky you are to not only have a bunch of stuff on your conference table, but a great view, the 15th floor, beautiful building along Central Expressway in Richardson, Texas, and have a flourishing practice with your son working with you. How lucky to have certificates, how lucky to get a chance to do continuing professional education, how lucky to go to so many different wonderful seminars, which help us, 1, prepare, 2, overcome whatever comes our way. Have fun, be well, and when you get a chance, let us know how we can be there for you. But all kidding aside, if you do have an injury, if you do have a sickness, get some help, get it diagnosed, and kind of go on down the road toward recovery. Then you too can have a ministry of saying, hey, guess what? this, that, and the other thing happened to me, and I am still rocking and rolling along. Have fun. Be well. See you soon. Bye.